Sometimes you just want a bit of popcorn and to watch the Civil War on TV, on YouTube, obviously on the televisual 50-inch, however big yours is. It's not how big it is, it's how you use it. Do you mount yours on the wall? Or do you use it to mount your wife? I don't know. Anyway, wrong meeting. We're down at the docks tomorrow in Liverpool. Actually, no, we actually are. We actually are down at the docks in Liverpool tomorrow. UKIP, Nick Tanconi. Great that UKIP have got a charismatic Christian, very patriotic leader. Go on, Nick. So I will be cinematographing. I'll be filming the events. My particular expertise and interest is demented, aggressive turbo commies and lefties and Antifa. There's something about my camera that it's magnetized to crazy, dysgenic people who want to watch the world burn. Because watching successful, genetically healthy people collapse and suffer might mean you get some breeding opportunities coming up. Welcome to the land of the dead. Sometimes as a living person, I'm about halfway through. Horrible to realize you're middle-aged with your grey beard, slightly yellow teeth. Still got all my original teeth. But sometimes the only peace you can get as a living person is to be amongst the dead. The people who have shed their restlessness, their egos, their desires, their anxieties. Speaking of anxiety, I actually watched a few seconds of it. Lucy Connelly, Keir Stalin, Keir KGB, Keir Gestapo, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, he told the judges after the Southport riots, and I always like to do a quick recap for my international audience. A year ago, an Islamist-inspired Rwandan teenager, just about 18, crazy-looking kid, took a large knife to a little girl dance class. He stabbed about 12 children, disemboweled a few of them, killed 3 of them, injured 2 adults that tried to help. There was a 65-year-old man who heard the commotion, came in, got stabbed really badly in the leg. He's a hero. He slowed down Axel Rudukabugu. Anyway, because the government then lied, I'm giving the recap. Don't click off the video. Don't click off. Because the government then lied and said, no, he's a Welsh choir boy. He's a nice, native Welsh guy. Nothing to do with immigration or Islamism. Turns out the stabber's dad was a Rwandan refugee. And we've got a big problem. I don't know why I'm bouncing. I've got my Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look, use the Force, Charlie. We have a big problem in the UK of 2nd and 3rd generation immigrants from places like Pakistan, India. Although the Indians, I've got a soft spot for the Indians. But, other places where they've got slightly crazy ideologies. Algeria, Tunisia. Not so much the North Africans. Got a lot of love for the North Africans as well. They're quite chill compared to some of them. But Pakistani grooming gang. Yeah, so Lucy Connelly, that's a big tangent. Lucy Connelly is now out of jail. And 3-year sentence for writing a stupid tweet. And we all agree, look, no one's going to argue with any commies and lefties and say it's okay to incite violence, because it's not, okay? But if I were Better Call Saul, if I were Black Belt Barrister, sorry, Daniel, you're not a fictional, corrupt lawyer. You're a genuinely real world, 3D physical realm. But if I were a powerful lawyer, I'm going to do more bouncing. That double espresso hit hard. When the coffee hits good. Yeah, I would say, hey, Your Honor, she added the words, for all I care, at the end of her incitement to violence. She said, for all I care. That doesn't sound like a direct incitement to me. That sounds like she is neither here nor there. Like, burn the migrant hotels down or don't burn them down. For all I care, I don't know. Put a man on the moon, don't put a man on the moon. Use Grok or Chat GPT-5 for all I care. But, again, international audience, Britain is a effed up country right now. Real sucking the corpse of Lenin, not his phallus, probably his toes, getting that nice gangrenous bit of pus from between his toes, Soviet control, state interference into everything, having a little spy in everyone's... Oh yeah, it's in my hand. I guess the only way you can destroy the surveillance state is to give them so much of yourself that they're like, Charlie, for fuck's sake, stop posting. We've got four young guys, school leavers, no, graduates, MI5, Charlie, the caseload, they don't know. Are you a terrorist? Are you a far-right bigot? Are you just a fucking idiot on YouTube? You're half Brazilian? Does that make you mixed race? But your mum's kind of white, so are you white? What? Your revelation that your dad's mum was English? Like you're just as English as you are Scottish? Oh, anyway. This country is really effed up. And it feels a bit like the Soviet Union. Like you look at history, why did the Soviet Union last for 75, 80 odd years, 90 years? You know, from the start where they took the Romanov children in the Tsarist household and oh, the gun jam, Sergei, get me another gun. Wow. Russian viewers, is there a brand of Russian pistols called the Kasparov? Or am I thinking of a chess player? I think it's both. Anyway, did you know that he died a few years ago. Kalashnikov, you may know him. Kalashnikov designed and launched the AK-47. A gun so successful, it's on a few African flags and shit. But on his gravestone, it says, God created man. Kalashnikov made them equal. And it's true. But as a YouTuber who, makes videos for a living, many of them very strongly based on my personal views, my spontaneous rants, my ideas about Islamism and cultural decline and first cousin marriages and the cognitive destruction of a population if you allow that kind of inbreeding. Also, you know, I talk about how the first signs of inbreeding in a population are neurological. Dad, I'm going to find a nice wife. No, son. My sister has a daughter. She's a bit... But she's your cousin, young man. We're not going to pay a dowry to someone else, are we? We're going to keep it in the family. Keep it in the family. So, fast forward 1,000 years, 2,000 years later, you've got literal spiteful mutants with like messed up codes in their minds walking around like, oh, what the hell? And again, like, I was in the car park just earlier today and seeing life's losers go into the supermarket. And my first thought was like, where'd they get the money for that? And then I realized, oh yeah, me and the other taxpayers. Yeah, they were very grateful. They said, Charlie, thank you. Thank you. That was a nice chunk there. We're going to go buy some National Lottery scratch cards and some Grant's vodka and some Lidl own brand lager. And I was like thinking, is giving money to people for free, is giving money to people for free when they've not worked for it, also a bit like first cousin marriages in terms of creating genetic legacies of bad mathematics, bad maths. It's like, you know, we're in a test tube civilization with test tube babies, and they don't come out of a test tube. Remember the Bunsen burner at school, chemistry class? Remember plugging in the little rubber hose to the little tap? Do you remember just running the tap when the teacher wasn't looking and smelling that kind of farty natural gas smell? But yeah, and like Britain is buggered, and like I vacillate each day between we're going to make it and it's all over. The despair and doom is gone too far. We've had the high watermark of freedom and happiness. Maybe it peaked in the year 1999. Some say it peaked in the 80s. Maybe it peaked, I don't know. Maybe it all died with the Challenger disaster, 1985. Yeah. But we're now in the kind of rotted hog's carcass of a free country, so Islamist infiltrated, so full of people that, you know, we know it's coming, the next Islamist atrocity, the next Islamic terror attack. And when it does, there's going to be a hell of a fight back from the ordinary, no, they're all quite special really, but the native English, Scottish, Welsh and Northern Irish. And again, my heart sank, that vacillation between Jesus Christ, we're going to make it, we'll resurrect, life goes on forever, peace and love. And then on the other side, you see the suffering of the Soviet Union. 80 years, nobody did a thing. It just carried on, got worse and worse and worse, more drunken, more inbred, more shitty. And then I pick up the news this morning, GCSE results are out. And again, on the back of 25 years of anti-white propaganda, they show that amongst all the people in school, the white working classes are being left behind, are doing the worst academically. And this brings me back to my rant the other day. How the upper classes and the middle classes, they don't care what color the peasantry are. They don't care what religion the peasantry are. All they care about is that the peasants don't revolt. I mean, they see all the peasants as revolting anyway, but they don't want them to kick off, have a revolting insurrection. And, it's a tragedy how class obsessed, and I'm not class obsessed, but we have to talk about it. And I had a lot of angry middle classes have a go at me, accusing me of being class obsessed. And I said, well, am I wrong? Everything I said about the middle classes and the upper classes selling out the culture for ordinary people, the people whose grandparents, great-grandparents, and throughout British history, the working classes have given so much, so many men, so much sacrifice, so many dead heroes to fight for Britannia, for king and country, for queen and country, depending what era you are in. And what thanks do the working classes get for fighting for king and country? They get to have their daughters raped. They get to have themselves thrown in jail for a thought crime, And Lucy Connelly, 0 previous convictions. She's a mother of a 12-year-old. I'm sorry, but it's relevant. Lucy Connelly lost a child to the government doctor, National Health Service, negligence. And I can't imagine the pain of losing a child when it's someone's mistake, a government worker's mistake. So when Southport happened and the whole country's being lied to by the government, a mother with a 12-year-old daughter with a little child in heaven that a government worker killed. Tap on the keyboard. For all I care, she said. For all I care. Burn it down for all I care. She deleted it, but it was too late. There's a few things working against her. She's white. She's right-wing. And she thought she could have an emotional, cathartic ejaculation of words online. I don't know, guys. Are we going to make it, or is it too late? Are we now little Sergei and Boris and Sasha? Are we like 3 Russian kids in 1925 going, it's not looking good. Anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded before the stormtroopers. Anyway, let's end this on a high note. Fuck communists, fuck Islamists, fuck statists, fuck those who want to have a little bit of status grab and ego power by shitting and hurting the people around them. All the little chubby they-thems, all the little civil servants, all the little CUNTSs who, and when you read about what they did to Lucy Connelly in prison, the isolation, the bending her arms back, the bruising her with handcuffs. These are all human beings with their own minds. And I think it's time for me to now go back and read the rest of Solzhenitsyn's Gulag Archipelago. I've read the first 100 pages. But the kidnapping of the young dad at his wedding and being forced to sleep in a wooden box full of bedbugs on purpose, that fucked me up. Anyway, I think I do need to read it now. Oh, how we burned in the camps when the apparatchiks and the commissars came for us, banged on the door. They didn't have that many men. Why didn't we attack them? With pans, with pots, with hammers, with knives, with machetes. Oh, how we burned in the camps. We allowed ourselves, us freedom lovers, to be taken away, thrown in the gulag. Here I am, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, on a 10-year sentence. All because we didn't value freedom enough. Viewers, you have no idea how angry I am as a YouTuber in the year 2025 in a civilized, modern, first world country, having to really be careful about the vocal cords. One vocal cord violation and it can ruin your life. So in the next video, we're probably going to have to appeal to Donald Trump and JD Vance to maybe step in a bit more. This is Charlie Beach from deepest, darkest England, and I'll see you as always on the next video.